This is Minimal Audio's new plugin Waveshifter, and in 5 minutes I'm going to show you how you can use it to make some crazy sounds like this. Waveshifter is Minimal Audio's take on a frequency shifter, and they've added some unique features that I've honestly never seen before in a plugin. Let's start with the basic features. It's a frequency shifter, so it creates this atonal sound by default. You have internal modulation, which is great, and while it's not going to make it sound any better, having this visual representation of your LFO is really helpful when designing sounds. It also has this really nice random feature that will sort of follow the curve that you have selected. When things start to get really weird is when we take a look at the different modes. Fast is essentially a normal frequency shifter, and slow is the same thing at a reduced range. But it has these sync and tuned options that I've never seen before in this type of effect. Sync allows you to create this laser stutter type effect and have it exactly sync to the tempo. This is really cool for designing basses or leads and can be useful for a lot of types of sounds. The tuned option is also crazy. It will shift the incoming signal to a targeted node. What makes this even cooler is when you use the FM features. That's right, Waveshifter is an audio effect with an FM option. If you don't know what that means, let's talk about FM, or frequency modulation. Essentially, you're modulating the frequency of a signal at audio rate. Due to the way audio works, this creates some really interesting harmonics that can be either tonal or atonal depending on the relationship between the two signals. Normally, this means you need two audio sources, but Minimal Audio has created an internal FM engine to modulate whatever audio input you have, with some different options including sine, even harmonics, noise, or what's most exciting to me, feedback FM. To get a sense for what that sounds like, we need to go back to 2011 when Skrillex revolutionized dubstep with these now iconic sounds. One of the main tools he was using was FM8, which is a complicated software recreation of the DX7. The DX7 has its own history, but I don't have time for that in this video. Also, if you have any other plugins or synths you want me to review, leave a comment and I'll check it out in a future video. What FM8 did was allow you to route your carrier and modulator signals however you wanted, which meant you could create a feedback loop, which could create sounds like this. Flash forward to today, and while the landscape of electronic music has definitely changed, it's still a cool sound that's very reminiscent of that early 2010s vibe. Not a lot of synths even have this option, but Waveshifter gives you the ability to add it to any audio signal or synth you want without having to do any complicated routing. I've created a handful of presets using this that add that kind of 2011 grit and nostalgia to your sounds. Check out how it sounds on this bass. Also, Minimal Audio hasn't made a full manual for Waveshifter yet, so these are just my assumptions based on what I'm hearing. And if I get anything wrong, Minimal, feel free to clarify in the comments. When using this method, you can either modulate the FM amount or change the input going into the plugin, which will change the tone of the FM. Let's hear what other sounds you can make with Waveshifter. I want to bring up current because if you have current, it will show up right here in the effects section, and you can use all the LFOs and modulators like you would any other part of the synth. I was messing around with current and came up with this sound. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this as our foundation and build out the rest of our beat and this drop section. I'm gonna play the full track for you guys in just a second. Thanks for watching, and feel free to like and subscribe as I'm still trying to grow the channel to 1,000 subscribers. If you want to check out the plugin or anything else from Minimal Audio, I'm gonna have a link in the description. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!